On the 4th of July 2018, as fireworks painted the sky over Cherokee County, something far darker was unfolding beneath it. When Harold Ferris didn't show up for the family's annual barbecue, his children knew something was wrong. But no one, not even the closest family members, could have imagined that this disappearance would lead to the unraveling of a family secret buried beneath decades of greed, resentment, and betrayal. What happened to Harold Ferris wasn't just a crime, it was a legacy of destruction. Cherokee County, Georgia, is a peaceful region. Rolling hills, winding back roads, and a tightly knit community that still holds on to Southern traditions. But behind some white picket fences lie decades-old secrets. Harold Ferris was 74, a retired real estate developer, respected in the community and known for building half the strip malls on Route 92. He was also the patriarch of the Ferris family, widower, father of 3 adult children, and owner of a sprawling estate on Ferris Hill Road. Harold's 3 children, David, the eldest and a local contractor, Elise, a schoolteacher, and Joel, the youngest, who struggled with employment and addiction, each had a different relationship with their father. But one thing bound them all: the expectation of inheritance. To the outside world, the Ferris family was just another successful Southern dynasty. But within, bitterness brewed. July 4th, 2018. Harold Ferris was expected at his daughter Elise's house for the annual family barbecue. Fireworks, beer, grilled ribs, the works. But Harold never arrived. Elise tried calling, no answer. David drove to his father's house around 9 p.m. The porch lights were on. Harold's truck was gone. His phone rang from inside the house, but there was no sign of him. By midnight, the family called 911. At first, Cherokee County deputies treated it as a missing person case. Harold was active, mentally sharp, and had no known medical issues. His neighbors reported seeing him earlier that morning, tending to his lawn. Then, he vanished. 2 days later, Harold's truck was found abandoned near Lake Allatoona, 15 miles from his home. The driver's seat was adjusted for someone much shorter. Inside, his fishing pole, a thermos, and a single leather glove. The keys were in the ignition. The glove was stained, something reddish-brown. Tests confirmed it was blood. But it wasn't Harold's. This changed everything. Police now believed foul play was involved. As detectives dug deeper, tensions within the Ferris family became clear. David had recently argued with Harold about the division of property. Harold had revised his will in May 2018, leaving 60% of his estate to Elise and only 20% to David and Joel. According to Harold's lawyer, David was livid. Joel had been in and out of rehab and had been financially cut off by his father. He had a history of violent outbursts. Elise, on the surface, seemed the golden child. But even she had secrets. She'd borrowed tens of thousands from Harold for a failed business venture. He'd refused to give her more money shortly before his disappearance. Everyone had a motive, but no one had an alibi. 3 weeks after Harold's disappearance, cadaver dogs hit on something at the base of an old tool shed behind Harold's property. Buried beneath 2 feet of dirt and stones was a shallow grave. Inside, the decomposed body of Harold Ferris. He had been bludgeoned. The autopsy revealed multiple fractures to the skull, likely caused by a heavy, blunt object. Time of death, the afternoon of July 4th. Suddenly, this was no longer a missing person case. It was murder. Detectives focused on the 3 siblings. Interviews revealed mounting tension. A neighbor reported seeing David S. truck parked near the back of Harold S. property at 3 p.m. on July 4th. Unusual, given that the family barbecue was across town. Phone records showed Joel had called Elise 4 times that morning, and security footage from a gas station in Canton showed Joel buying a shovel and gloves on July 3rd. When pressed, Joel cracked. He confessed that he and David had confronted Harold about his revised will. The argument turned violent. According to Joel, David hit Harold with a fire poker in a fit of rage. Joel claimed he helped bury the body out of fear and loyalty, but David told a different story. Joel acted alone and tried to frame him. Elise, meanwhile, denied any involvement, but her name was on a $100,000 cashier's check deposited into her account 2 days after Harold's death. The account had been dormant for years. The origin of the money? Still unknown. The DA's office struggled. Joel and David were pointing fingers at each other. Without physical evidence linking either of them directly to the murder weapon or to the site of the grave, the case began to unravel. Then, the bombshell. A handwritten letter surfaced, found in a lockbox in Harold's safe deposit box at the bank, dated June 20th, 2018. In the letter, Harold expressed fear for his life. He wrote, "I believe David wants to harm me. He's angry about the will. If anything happens to me, look at him first." But in a stunning twist, forensic analysis revealed the letter had been written by Elise. She'd faked it. Investigators now believed Elise had orchestrated the setup to pit her brothers against each other and remove both from the inheritance equation. Under pressure, Elise confessed. She admitted she manipulated Joel into confronting their father, knowing his instability and history. She'd promised him money if he scared Harold into signing a new will. But when things went too far, Elise helped clean up the scene, coached Joel on what to say, and even planted the glove with her own blood to mislead police. She thought framing her brothers would take suspicion off her. She was wrong. In April 2020, Elise Ferris was sentenced to 25 years in prison for conspiracy to commit murder and obstruction of justice. Joel, who took a plea deal for second-degree murder, received 15 years. David was never formally charged due to lack of evidence. The Ferris estate was seized in civil court and proceeds were donated to a local victim support foundation at Harold Ferris's request in his will. The Ferris house was demolished in 2021. All that remains is a small marker near the woods. Here lived Harold Ferris. May truth rise where secrets once lay buried. The Cherokee County community was stunned. A family so entwined in their town's history had imploded in full view. A reminder that beneath the surface of civility can lie dysfunction, desperation, and deceit. What led to Harold's death wasn't just a moment of rage. It was decades of unresolved resentment, greed, and manipulation. In the end, the Ferris family didn't just lose a father, they lost themselves. When family becomes fractured and love becomes a transaction, tragedy can find fertile ground. The story of the Ferris family is not just a tale of murder. It's a cautionary tale about the true cost of silence, secrets, and the illusions of wealth. Sometimes the dead don't just speak, they scream. If you found this story compelling, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a weekly deep dive into the darkest true crime cases from around the world. And if you have thoughts about the Ferris family tragedy or theories we didn't cover, drop them in the comments below. We read every one. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.